Imagine trying to picture nothing, like truly nothing, before anything existed.
Before space, before time, before the very concept of before even made sense.
Exactly. So today we're diving deep into maybe the ultimate cosmic mystery. What was that nothing before the Big Bang, 13.8 billion years ago?
We're talking about a point unimaginably small, exploding into, well, everything we see. But thinking about the before, that just completely breaks our normal way of thinking.
Yeah, it's fascinating how our usual idea of nothing, like an empty room, just doesn't cut it here.
Right, because it's not just the absence of stuff in the room, it's the absence of the room itself, the dimensions, the framework, everything.
So our mission today is to kind of shortcut your journey into this impossible-sounding place.
We'll unpack some really mind-bending ideas, quantum foam, maybe infinite multiverses, even consciousness playing a role.
By the end, hopefully you'll have a pretty unique perspective on where everything came from.
Wow.
Might make you question a few things.
Definitely. So let's start at the very beginning, or maybe the lack of one. T0.
T0.
Right.
Scientists call it T0, and at that exact moment, the whole idea of before just dissolves, doesn't it?
It does. Time, as we understand it, simply didn't exist yet.
And Einstein's equations, the ones that describe space-time so well everywhere else, they just, stop working.
They break down completely. It's like asking a computer to divide by zero. You get infinities, answers that don't make physical sense.
Okay, so if time itself wasn't a thing at T0, how do we even begin to think about it before? Doesn't that just mess up our whole intuition about cause and effect?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just before our universe. It's before the very framework that allows beginnings to even happen.
Wow. It's like trying to describe, I don't know, a color in a world without light.
That's a great analogy. It really is that fundamental, mind-bending stuff.
Okay, this next bit really challenges my gut feeling. When I think nothing, I picture emptiness, a void. But physics says even the emptiest space isn't actually empty.
That's right. Even in what we call a perfect vacuum, there's this constant underlying buzz of activity. Physicists call it the quantum vacuum.
And it's filled with something called zero-point energy.
Exactly. It's this minimum energy level that space itself has, even if you cooled it down to absolute zero, where you'd think all motion stops.
And this isn't just like a theory. We can actually see its effects.
We can. The Casimir effect is the classic example. You put two uncharged metal plates really close together in a vacuum, and they actually get pushed together slightly. Why? Because of the pressure difference from these virtual particles popping in and out of existence all around them, but fewer can pop up between them.
Virtual particles. So tiny ghost-like things just appearing and vanishing.
Trillions of them every fraction of a second. They basically borrow a tiny bit of energy from the vacuum and pay it back almost instantly. It's like a constant quantum fizz.
So nothing is actually this incredibly dynamic, energetic place.
Absolutely. And these virtual particles aren't just some weird quirk. They're crucial for how atoms work, for chemistry, for basically everything.
And this connects back to the universe's beginning.
Well, one leading idea is that our entire universe might have started as just one of these quantum fluctuations, a tiny borrowed bit of energy that, instead of vanishing, underwent this incredible hyper-fast expansion called cosmic inflation.
Growing faster than light.
Faster than light, yeah. Stretching space itself incredibly rapidly, like a tiny soap bubble suddenly inflating to create its own massive pond where there was no water before.
That's a profound image for our origins.
It really is, and it leads to another mind-blowing thought.
Which is?
If one universe can pop out of this quantum chaos, well, the physics suggests it probably wasn't a one-off event.
So you're saying ours might just be one bubble among many.
Potentially countless others. This is the multiverse idea. Not just sci-fi, but a possible consequence of these theories. An infinite cosmic foam constantly bubbling up new universes.
Pocky universes, each maybe even with different laws of physics.
That's one version, yes. Or another idea is that maybe it's not new universes, but our own universe going through cycles.
Like expanding out, then collapsing back in a big crunch.
And then bouncing back in a new Big Bang. A kind of cosmic trampoline. In that view, there wasn't one beginning, just this endless oscillation. Our Big Bang was just the latest bounce.
Okay, theories upon theories.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears a bit. What about this idea that the universe is fundamentally made of information?
Ah, the holographic principle. Yeah, that's another deep one. It suggests that everything we experience in our three spatial dimensions might actually be Like a projection.
A projection, like a hologram.
Kind of, yeah. As if all the information describing our 3D reality is actually encoded on some distant, vast 2D surface, like the boundary of the observable universe.
What does that even imply for reality?
Yeah.
That it's less solid?
It suggests a profound interconnectedness, maybe. And it ties into other weird quantum ideas, like observation.
You mean how quantum mechanics says particles exist in multiple states at once until they're measured or observed?
Exactly. So could consciousness itself be fundamental? Could the act of observing actually be what collapses possibilities into the single reality we experience?
That raises a huge question, though. If observation is key, what observed the universe for the billions of years before conscious life like us evolved?
That is the question, isn't it? Some physicists speculate consciousness might be more fundamental, interwoven with reality from the start, not just a late byproduct. It's deeply philosophical territory.
Wow. Okay. And speaking of things that seem almost too perfect, let's touch on the fine-tuning.
Right. The fundamental constants of nature gravity, electromagnetism, the strength of nuclear forces, even dark energy.
They seem bizarrely dialed in,
Okay.
right? Like perfectly set for complexity, for stars, planets, and ultimately life to exist.
Impossibly fine-tuned, you could say. Take dark energy, the stuff accelerating the universe's expansion. Quantum physics predicts it should be vastly stronger than it is.
How much stronger?
About 10 to the power of 120 times stronger. That's a 1 followed by 120 zeros. It's famously called the worst prediction in the history of physics.
That number's just meaningless. It's so huge.
Yeah.
Compared to what, like the number of atoms in the universe?
Which is only about 10 to the 80. So yeah, the discrepancy is staggering. If dark energy was that strong, the universe would have ripped itself apart instantly, long before any structures could form.
So how do we explain this? Why is our universe so accommodating?
Well, one argument is the anthropic principle. It basically says we observe the universe to be this way because if it were any different, we wouldn't be here to observe it.
Which makes sense, but it feels a little circular. Like it explains why we can ask the question, but not necessarily how things got this way.
Exactly. It's satisfying to some, unsatisfying to others. It doesn't necessarily point to a deeper reason why the constants are what they are.
Okay, so wrapping this all together,
Yeah.
trying to look back before T0, where does all this leave us?
Well, it leaves us with possibilities that stretch the imagination. From quantum foam birthing universes to endless cycles to reality being information.
And maybe even consciousness playing a role from the very start,
Right.
or even now.
Which leads to a final, really provocative thought. If observation collapses reality and maybe information is conserved, could it be that the ultimate answer to what existed before the Big Bang somehow depends on us? On what conscious observers become in the far, far future?
Wait, you mean future events influencing the distant past, like shaping the origin by observing it or understanding it at the end of time?
It's a wild idea, blurring the lines of time and causality. The universe becoming aware of itself, asking about its own beginning, and perhaps, in that very act of questioning and understanding, subtly defining what that beginning even was.
That is something to chew on. The end potentially shaping the beginning.
Wow.